Welcome to another edition of Islanders Insider, coming to you from the press box here at Chapman Field. We're going to talk with coaches Stephanie Hughes of Islanders Softball and head coach Scott Malone of Islanders Baseball. That's coming up in a moment. But we do have a couple special guests joining us here today as well. We'd like to welcome the trophies from the Southland Conference Men's and Women's Tennis Tournament, both residing here on the island, as both men's and women's teams won over the weekend and will advance to the NCAA tournament. Congratulations, Steve Moore, Director of Tennis, and to all the athletes. You did a tremendous job. Let's get to the business at hand here, though, as we're going to talk some Islanders baseball with head coach Scott Malone. Coach?
Stephen, how are you, buddy?
Doing very good. Very, very good. Good weekend for you as well. Another 2 of 3 as you took down Oral Roberts over the weekend. So since the last time we met, your team's maintained a very high level of play, winning 6 of your last 7. Sweeping Northwestern State on the road, and a Tuesday non-conference win against Houston Victoria, all part of that stretch.
Really happy with the run. You know, guys are playing well, and it's a little bit of everything. A couple days, we feel like we have outstanding pitching. All of a sudden, the defense steps up. We're really defending everywhere, and then, you know, the bats get hot for 2, 3, 4 days, and feel like it's coming together. You know, I think we've had 2 7-game win streaks. Just, I like the way this club's playing. You know, yesterday was a bump in the road, but over the course of 56, you're going to have some of those. So looking forward to this week. Big shot at Baylor and a shot out at Abilene. Should be a fun week.
Should be a fun week, no doubt. You talked about the bats coming alive. One man in particular who was recognized for his efforts, Brandon Tierney, highlighted in the Northwestern State Series, recognized by the Southland Conference, went 9 of 13, 2 home runs, 6 RBI, 765 on-base percentage. You recently named him the hitter of the year at the Islanders Athletic Banquet. And tell me something about Brandon that only a baseball insider would know.
Oh, man. Quiet. Maybe one of the most quiet, reserved baseball guys I've ever been around. You know, it's just everybody's different. They're all different. You know, he had an unbelievable series, probably the 3 best games maybe that he's ever had in his life at Northwestern State, carried us to a series sweep. And, you know, some of the other seniors were getting him at the end. I always have a small little speech after every game, and they were, you know, Brandon, get in there, man. You know, get them going. Hey, guys, good job this weekend. I mean, just, you know, doesn't want the spotlight on him, doesn't want to be out in front, and that's fine. You know, guys are wired up differently. When the game starts, he wants to be in one of those top spots in the batting order. He wants the ball hit to him. That's probably the biggest compliment I can give Brandon. Outstanding job at third base. You look at the stats, you see what he does at the plate. Boy, he's doing a great job at third base for us.
He has been absolutely solid. You mentioned Caleb Keith. You know, he's been working his way back into his closer role. But since then, you've asked Jacob Doris to resume that role that he took on so well last year as the Islanders stopper. I tell you one thing. He had a moment against Oral Roberts that was incredibly memorable and one that I think he'll keep with him for a long time.
You summed it up. You know, and it's kind of like you called it a moment. It is like, I think that 5-10 minute stretch kind of just stood still for a minute, and I think we all thought, am I seeing this? Is there your bases loaded jam, no outs, Trevino boss right through the heart of a big time order in Oral Roberts. I mean, guys that were locked in, guys that were having good swings all weekend, and he ran right through them. You know, with 2 pitches, fastball and a breaking ball. And, you know, you're just hoping minimize the inning. Maybe 1 run. They're probably going to get 2. If they just get 2, we're fine. And to have him run through those 3 guys and put a 0 up. Bell out. Trevor Belichick, who had an awesome start. And again, push back that dugout. And wow, we just had the bases loaded and didn't score. You know, so that was huge.
The 7-game winning streak did come to a close, though, in the final game against Oral Roberts. It's one of those nights where they're seeing the ball so well, it's like they're hitting beach balls. Are there days like that in baseball with no matter what you do, no matter what arm you put out there, it's just not going to happen when a team is that zoned in?
No, you're right. And I think when you look back at the game now, I don't know, we threw 5 or 6 arms at them, and I think they got every one of them. So as a coach, you like to second guess everything, and should I have done this, should I have done that? When you look back at it, hey, I think they had our number on every one of them. You know, but obviously, you know, debating on who we were going to start yesterday. That's the one thing. Just, you know, as a coach, I control the lineup that we start with, how we get off the bus, how we start that first game. And obviously a bad first inning set that day in motion, really gave that Oral Roberts club a little pat on the back, got them energetic, got them excited. And, that's the only thing I wonder. Maybe if we'd have went in a different order, started a different guy, maybe they wouldn't have been so hyped up from the get-go. But again, you're not going to win every game. You're not going to win every game on a weekend. Southland Conference is outstanding baseball. They're going to get you. And I was thinking last night, would I rather lose 17-6 or 7-6? And you don't ever want to lose 17-6, but they got us. They had our number. Let's get on. What's next?
Yeah, you have the short memory.
Yep.
Win or lose, short memory. We got a next game to play.
Yeah.
Nichols did manage a sweep over New Orleans, pushing them ahead in the conference standings by one game to hold the top spot over the Islanders in league play. Now, you have Abilene Christian, Lamar, Sam Houston State laying ahead, the Colonels of Southeastern Louisiana, Stephen F. Austin, and McNeese. In your opinion, what do you think? Who's got the tougher road, or is it just a coin flip? Because this ultimately is the Southland Conference, and anything can happen.
I like your last sentence. It's the Southland Conference. I think there's a lot of good clubs. I don't know if people are still talking about Sam Houston, but I think if you ask Nichols or Corpus, boy, Sam's right in the rearview mirror. Here they come, and they've got such an outstanding track record over the last 2, 3, 4 years. They're the team to beat until somebody can knock them off. So, and I'm sure there's a lot of people wondering, what's Nichols going to do down the stretch? Have they been here before? What's Corpus going to do down the stretch? Have they been here in the last 9? And I say that, Stephen, such a tribute to these 5 seniors, the leadership they've brought. And I told the kids that. They've put us in a position with 9 to go. This is what you want. You want to be in the hunt. You want to have a chance. 6-3 might get you there. I think 7-2 does for sure. Now, that's not going to be easy. We're going to have to play really, really good baseball to go 6-3 down the stretch. But these guys have done a great job. They've put us in a position where we have a chance to win a league championship. I can't wait to see how it plays out.
Regular season title is close. It's a possibility. 3 weeks remaining. Do you allow yourself to even think about that possibility, or do you, like you preach to your players, just focus only one game ahead?
Well, let me give Steve Moore a pat on the back. When you had that banquet last night and you see those student athletes come in with just straight emotion, I don't think anything was planned. I don't think anything was drawn out. There was just the emotion of winning came strolling into that banquet. You saw every other student athlete, fan, booster, coach jump to the feet, and it was just excitement. And we haven't done that before. We've had good clubs. We've had talented clubs. We've had kids get drafted. We've won postseason games. We haven't won a trophy yet. We haven't finished in first yet. So I think until you do it, do I think we can? Sure. Do I think we're talented enough? Yeah. But until you get all the way to the top, it's hard to imagine that emotion coming out in your kids and your staff, and how would I react to us finishing first? I think I'd probably hug every kid like they were my family and thank them for it. And these guys work hard. I want the best for them. They've all paid a price, and they have us now in a position to go really get after these last 9 conference games and let the chips fall and see how high we can finish.
It should be exciting. There's no
For
doubt.
sure, for sure.
Coach, good luck.
Thanks, Stephen.
Scott Malone joining us here in the press box at Chapman Field. When we come back, we have a special feature. Guess what? Talking about Islanders baseball. That's coming your way right here on Islanders Insider. Welcome back to Islanders Insider. At this time, we have a special feature brought to you by Teddy Medina, focusing on Brandon Tierney and Russell Vaughn's senior leadership with Islander baseball.
With key pieces of the Islanders baseball team graduating and being drafted last season, the seniors this year knew that they would need to fill that void. In particular, Brandon Tierney and Russell Vaughn have done just that.
Trying to lead the guys, put them in the right direction. It's been kind of hard filling the footsteps of Eric Weiss and Gonzo and Porras, all those guys last year. But we're just trying to keep the guys motivated, keep them having a good mindset going into each and every game.
Tierney has been incredibly consistent at the plate this year, posting one of the top batting averages in the Southland Conference, a statement about how he has been playing the game this season.
I can't say enough about how he's playing. And a lot of people are asking me, what's going on with Tierney? Sounds like one of the best players you've ever had. And, the best, it's just he's a senior being a senior. He thinks he's supposed to have success. He expects to have success. That's what you want.
I mean, this year I kind of just told myself it's baseball. I'm going to have fun with it. Whatever happens, happens. And so far this season, we've actually been pretty successful at it, so might as well keep that mindset.
With Russell Vaughn's abilities behind the plate, Coach Scott Malone has been able to give him more responsibilities, almost as an on-field coach.
I just try to lead. The catching position's a leading position. I got to make sure the pitching staff's always calm, cool, and collected, making them throw strikes. I got to do whatever it takes for them to feel comfortable out there, and then just leading the guys in the field, like making them know which place to go with the ball all the time. It's kind of, I've always liked catching because it's more of a mental part. It deals with the mental part of the game more than anything, and I've always really enjoyed that part of the game.
Last 4 or 5, 6 weeks, Russell's gotten very involved with me on just our bullpen and kind of giving me ideas on how our starters are doing and when they've got one more inning left. He's almost become an extension of our coaching staff now. You can't say enough about him and those all 5 seniors, but the way he's doing is huge.
Last year, the Islanders finished second in the Southland Conference, but for this squad, second isn't good enough anymore.
Yeah, for last year we set the bar high, and I think all deep down inside for each and every one of us, we want to go one step higher, one level higher, and we want to ultimately get that Southland Conference championship. So it's been a good benchmark for us, I think, last year.
For Islanders Insider, I'm Teddy Medina. We'll be right back.
What's Massage Envy Spa? For me, it's healthy, it's affordable. I mean, he always wants
pain relief.
Right. And I want a healthier complexion. And now we can get a customized massage or a healthy skin facial.
At a really good price.
At a great price. And nothing feels better than that.
Customized massages and healthy skin facials, all at the perfect price. Start a healthy routine today with Massage Envy Spa.
Go, you'll see.
Welcome back to Islanders Insider. This time we're talking some Islanders softball with the head coach of the Islanders softball program, Coach Stephanie Hughes. Coach, how are you?
How are you?
Really good.
Good.
Really good. And as a matter of fact, I think you're doing pretty good yourself.
Yes, much better.
Much better. Your squad has won 3 straight Southland Conference series. You took 2 of 3 against SFA. You swept then second place Lamar on the road, and you finally banged out 2 of 3 against the most recent second place team in the league, Sam Houston State. Now, this type of success is long overdue, and for you, it has to be gratifying to see this hard work pay off.
It is. It's really gratifying, as you'd say, to see our true freshmen come in and really start to make an impact. The game seems to have slowed down a little bit for them, which is we've been waiting on that, and they're not getting in the batter's box or getting in the circle with a look on their face like, oh my gosh, what have I gotten myself into? Now they have that look of confidence, of they know that they belong there, and that they know that they can compete with people in this conference.
Most definitely. Now let's go back just a little bit to that road sweep against Lamar.
Mm-hmm.
That was a big moment in this season. There's no doubt. Now, pitching was solid and consistent throughout the entire weekend with all 3 pitchers contributing. They also benefited from big-time late-game scoring. 2 of the games you plated 4 runs in the 7th inning.
Right.
Kind of tell us about that weekend and just the overall contribution.
Well, we knew that coming off the weekend of SFA and winning that series, we knew that if we wanted to get ourselves in a position to get into the conference tournament, we had to make some big things happen. And we talked a lot to the team about having nothing to lose. No one really expected us to go into a second place Lamar on the road and sweep them. And so we talked about one at a time and don't quit. Don't give up. Don't quit. If you're down, you're down. If we're tied, we're tied. We can always come back. Our bats have been something that have been consistent most of the year. So to get some of those big hits late in the game it just helped build that confidence, and I think that's really propelled us into the next few weeks.
Oh, absolutely. Now, we mentioned, we're talking about pitching here.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about her, and you mentioned Liz Carter's name. Talk to me about the growth of this young woman who's become your number one. Not just her growth, but truthfully her toughness. There's something about her that you can see a steeliness in her eyes.
Yeah, early in the year, she was definitely a freshman. She was talented, but she was a thrower, not so much a pitcher. She's become more of a pitcher now, and just in the Lamar series, in the Sam Houston series, there were at bats where she, looking over at me when I'm calling pitches, and she's looking at me like, I don't want to call that one. I want to throw this one, and every time she's did that, it worked out, and she has that different look in her eye now. She's definitely settled in, and she's definitely become what I think is one of the better pitchers in our conference as a true freshman.
Not necessarily even just as a freshman, to be true. She's become really good. Now the history here at home at Chapman Field is that it's always been a difficult hitter's park,
Right.
Plain and simple. We've used that to our advantage for years, there's no doubt. Sometimes it bites us, though. Liz Carter just missed another huge moment, not from the circle, but from the batter's box a series earlier when she just missed the sweep of SFA with a walk-off home run. And I know that you were just questioning yourself, why Chapman Field, why?
Yeah, I have it on video, and you can see the ball when she hit it. You can see where it was. You can see where the left fielder caught it right up against the fence, and then you look right up and you can see the flag just blowing straight dead in.
It was a scoreboard shot that day.
It was definitely would have nailed the scoreboard. And getting that series sweep would have been huge for us, especially where we're sitting right now. But like you said, it's also kept us in games. There's been plenty of time where, throwing against a different team that is a dead pull team, we wouldn't be throwing so many inside pitches. And here we've kind of had that attitude of, if you want to try to pull it, okay, our left fielder will catch it, and that's kind of how we've done it. And yeah, it did bite us in that one. That one still kind of hurts. I've tried to delete that video a couple times, and I just can't. But she's come through multiple times, not just in the circle, but offensively as well throughout the year.
No doubt. Now, Senior Day took place this past weekend at Chapman Field. Now, tell me about the leadership of these four seniors. Your team MVP, Valerie Perez, J.J. Jackson, Constance Brandenburg, and your Heart of the Team Award winner, Laura Phillips.
The four of them, they were the group that was here when I got here, obviously. They 3 out of the 4 had won a conference championship. And that's experience that I've been through, but I can't tell the younger players what it feels like. They can. They've won that conference championship in an Islander uniform. And that's something that, you can't teach that. Val has been our steady leader on the field. She's made some incredible plays at shortstop. She seems to have, especially this year, come through with the hits when we needed them. Huge 3-run home run in the top of the 7th inning at Lamar. Yesterday, coming in, getting the big hit against Sam Houston when we needed it. And that's been something that we've looked forward to, having her on the field all year long. Constance has really helped Liz and Katie in as far as bullpen workouts, how to pitch at this level, how to know how to go out on the mound and not be afraid, and not be, to be confident when you're on the mound. And that's something that we can't pay her back for that, is the experience she's given Liz and Katie. JJ's JJ.
No, that's pretty much sums it up.
She keeps things light. She keeps things fun. She's also come through with some huge hits this year. She's made some plays defensively that I didn't know she could make. She's really turned herself around this year and become a great defensive player, not just an offense, but a great defensive player. And Laura, Laura's someone who, whether it's at practice, whether it's in the game, if I asked her to be a pinch hitter, if I asked her to be the DP that day, she understands the youth in this team and the talent that we have with that youth. And she came to me early in the year and just said, whatever I can do to help. And that was huge for me. That's why, we named her the Heart of the Team Award. When we need somebody to get in the middle of the girls and get them fired up, in between innings, she's the one that does it. And so the 4 seniors, I'm glad we got to send them out on a win. It was a great day, have their families here. And, like I said, they represent what it is to be an Islander softball player.
couple things I also want to touch upon today. Getting back to away from the young ladies but talking about the schedule. If you go back in time, you lost an opportunity to play the Nichols Series Game 3 due to weather conditions. How can that missed game affect the standings down the road?
Big time. Right now, within the third place team and where we're sitting, we're within 3 games of third place. And, they base the seedings off of winning percentages. And I think out of the entire conference, to be honest, I think there's 2 teams that have played a full schedule. The weather's really affected everybody. But to get that one game, that's something that, we would have really wished we could have gotten, that's for sure. But it wasn't meant to be. And, we've started a roll against SFA. We've started that momentum, and where we're at right now, we want to carry that into HBU and hopefully, get ourselves into the tournament and do some damage.
That's exactly what I was going to ask you. HBU coming up this weekend. You control your own destiny with HBU, or do you need help?
We control our own destiny. If we can come out and get a series sweep, we should be in for sure. If we get 2 out of 3, we need a little bit of help. But, the way that we're playing, the way that we're competing, and the overall attitude of the team, the girls know what we need to do. And they're taking that approach every single game. They know that we can go in and we can compete with them. And knowing what's at stake, I think is going to give them just that much more motivation to go in and get that sweep and keep it in our hands.
Final weekend of the season.
No pressure.
Regular season, that is.
No pressure, right?
No pressure at all. Good luck to you, Coach.
Thank you very much.
Stephanie Hughes, head coach of Islanders softball, joining us here in the press box at Chapman Field. When we come back with more Islanders Insider, we'll bring you up to speed on what's next for Islanders athletics. Stay with us. More to come. Welcome back to Islanders Insider. At this time of the show, we want to tell you what's up next for Islanders athletics. The Islanders baseball team is coming down the stretch and plays a crucial series at Abilene Christian this weekend. The 3-game set starts at 6 p.m. on Friday, May 2nd, followed by games Saturday at 2 and Sunday at 1. A&M Corpus Christi then returns home for the final series of the season, with Lamar coming to town for a 3-game set. The teams will play Friday and Saturday at 6 p.m. with the series finale on Sunday at 1. Islanders softball faces a crucial series this weekend, heading to Houston Baptist for a 3-game set. The teams play a doubleheader on Saturday, May 3rd, starting at 1 p.m., with the final matchup scheduled for a Sunday start at 2 o'clock. The team's next action will be in the Southland Conference Tournament, starting Thursday, May 8th in Hammond, Louisiana. Check GoIslanders.com for all the latest information. The Islanders track and field teams will take part in the 2014 Southland Conference Outdoor Track and Field Championships, starting on Friday, May 9th. The championships run all day Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in Conway, Arkansas. And Islander tennis will head to the NCAA tournament next week, beginning Friday, May 9th. Both the men's and women's teams will be heading to the postseason, with the women making their first appearance. Opponents and full schedule information was not available as of this week's taping, so be sure to check GoIslanders.com for all the latest information. Once again, I want to thank Coach Stephanie Hughes of Islanders softball and head coach Scott Malone of Islanders baseball for joining us here in the press box at Chapman Field. I want to thank all of you for tuning in and look forward to catching up with you next week. I'm Stephen King. This has been Islanders Insider.